Hey everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started in about 90 seconds here. We're going to let some people finish logging in here, and then we'll go ahead and kick this off. All righty, that's long enough here. Good morning, or good afternoon, I guess, everybody. This is Tyler Finken, Health Marketing Director over at Western Marketing. First off, just wanted to say thanks for everybody taking time out of your busy schedules today to join us on this very exciting webinar that we've got for you, especially during AEP, or AEP prep, I should say. I know how busy everybody is this time of year. So before we get started here, I wanted to make sure to touch on a housekeeping item here. On the right-hand side of your screen, there should be a questions box. So if at any time during the presentation here you have a question, go ahead and type it in, and then Dalton and I will do our best to answer those questions at the end of the webinar here. But with us today is President of RetireFlo, Mr. Dalton Miller, and he's going to tell us about the very exciting integration of RetireFlo into MedicareCENTER. And I tell you what, I cannot tell you how excited we are to be able to offer this to you guys and integrate into MedicareCENTER. So, Dalton, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. Thank you, sir, for being with us today.
Tyler, it's such an honor to be with you. For some context here, this is, I think, sort of a long time coming. We had the chance to, me and my team at RetireFlo had the chance to chat with the Western team quite a while ago, and with hopes that maybe someday this integration would come full circle, and to have the chance to talk to you all about it today and have that be the case is an incredibly big deal for us, and also it's very just reflective of the Western team. You know, I had the privilege of working with 250 large agencies and FMOs across this country, and I like to work with people who are forward-thinking, wanting to bring cool new tools to their agents, bring thoughtful ideas on how to prepare for AEP, and the fact that we're doing this webinar today in just a few days after the launch of our integration with MedicareCENTER just shows that the Western team is on it, and they're the type of organization that we love to work with. So I want to thank the Western team for having me on, between Brandon and Tyler and the rest of Team Western. It's a big deal for us. So who the heck am I? What the heck is this? Let's talk about it. RetireFlo. So a little background on myself. My name is Dalton Miller. I come from an agency myself. I started working for my dad's Medicare agency about 5-6 years ago. I went to The Ohio State University. Do not hold it against me. And I now serve as the president of RetireFlo. And truly deep down, our service, RetireFlo, which I'm going to tell you about the history of, launched in September of 2023, and I've had the privilege of traveling around the country and meeting with Medicare agents. I personally, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth, met with 1,978 Medicare agents last year, one-on-one on the half-hour mark. So I'm very tuned in to what tools Medicare agents are using and what their processes look like. And it was a big deal for us to, be in a discussion with our friends at Integrity. I'm an Integrity downline myself, and we're going to talk about that. But last summer, I took a little visit to Dallas, Texas. And for those of you who don't know, that's the tower that the Integrity office is in, and made our case that RetireFlo should be the first third-party integration into one of Integrity's tools ever, and which is a little bit of a ridiculous ask, but we're thankful that it has now come true, and we'll talk about how it works here in just a moment. But to give you some background about why this thing exists and what it is, I think you need to learn about my home agency real quick. My home agency is called Seniority Benefit Group. I started working for that guy in the middle, my dad, about 6 years ago. And if this AEP continues to go the way it's going, I will likely have the same haircut as my dad if I'm not careful. But at our home agency, we're proud to serve 25,000 beneficiaries with a supplement or Medicare Advantage plan. And that's a lot of people. My dad's been in the business for a long time, but what's more important about that is we do it with just 8 sales agents. So pound for pound, we write a lot of business, and we're really proud of that. But we created this problem for ourselves, and this is a problem that I've seen basically every other Medicare agent in this country also experience. And that problem we locally call the Debbie dilemma. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Debbie. She's in charge of retention at our office. So when all of our clients call in and say, Joe Namath says there's something better out there, or my neighbor gets free golf clubs on their plan, she's in charge of capturing drug lists from 25,000 people, not to mention get assigned scope. And that just is insurmountable. It was killing Debbie and her team. So we had to develop something to remediate that issue, so we didn't have to hire a call center or additional payroll to manage that volume. How can you grow and scale while also making sure that you can retain your clients? So we boiled it down to the basics. If this is what everybody does in this call every single day, it's what we do, it's what Medicare agents do everywhere. If you're going to provide someone with plan options, whether they're T65, retiring, already on Medicare, what do you need to know about them in order to give them those options? And it's really these 5 things. You got to know your clients' prescriptions, their doctors, their hospitals, their pharmacies, some key lifestyle preferences. Do they want to retire in Arizona? Do they want to pay co-pays when they go to the doctor? Those kind of things. But these first 4 are very sensitive data points. And what we see from agents across the country is one of 2 things. And if this is you, I'm not blaming you. There wasn't a tool out here before this to remediate it. But what we see is one of 2 things. One, I see agents really just non-securely exchanging these very sensitive data points over email or text or what have you. Or worse, I also see agents mailing something out to their clients with a return stamp and expecting their clients to mail something back. And I don't know who on this call has watched Seinfeld, but we all saw what happened to George Costanza's wife. Okay, she ain't around no more because she licked too many envelopes. So it's 2025. There's got to be a better way. So that is what RetireFlo does. Surprise, a big surprise there. So what is RetireFlo? We offer secure, compliant surveys for Medicare agents to send to their clients and prospects in advance of a meeting. Our survey is 9 questions long. The font is humongous. It asks 1 question at a time. It's incredibly easy for seniors to complete. Now, I don't want to sound disparaging when I talk about seniors and the font being big, but y'all know as well as I do, if it's not easy, they just won't do it. And so when your senior clients answer your 9 questions, you get 3 things. 1, you get a list of that client's drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. On those drugs, they're spelled right every single time. Dosage, quantity, frequency, package, braid of the generic. Everything you need to go out and run a quote for your senior clients. The second thing you get is you now have achieved permission to contact. So this works great for your prospects, people who are new to you. You now have permission to contact them. And then lastly, the final question in our survey is that pesky scope of appointment form. And look, there's a lot of folks and a lot of tools out there that do scopes. MedicareCENTER's got scopes. All the carriers got scopes. I'm sure the Western's got a scope handy if you need one. But the reason that we capture the scope as well is because let's say you're meeting with your client next Thursday, who I'll call Susie Senior. You get an appointment in the books. You say, hey, Susie, I'm looking forward to our appointment. I need you to complete this survey by next Tuesday. That's going to get you a compliant scope, which is great. But more importantly, we'd argue, it's going to get you those drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies at least 2 days in advance. So you can do all of that plan research, show up locked and loaded, quotes in hand. Just more efficient meetings, better retention, managing AEP better because you're showing up prepared to every single meeting that you take. And a couple of things you should be aware of about our system. We are CMS compliant, so we submit through the health plan management system every year to ensure that this remains compliant, and that backs you up on the back end. Means that all the materials that we provide you are also CMS compliant. But our system is also HIPAA and SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, encrypted end to end. And that's a long, geeky, dorky way of saying that this data is yours and only yours. We can't see it. We don't want to see it. We believe in what agents do every day. This is not some ploy to capture your client's contact information. We go as far as if you have a question about one of our submissions that we provide you, you got to contact us and give us consent to review it. So our system is designed to help empower you, make sure that you show up prepared for every meetings, not to steal anybody's data. But I mentioned this before, we launched our tool in September of 2023, on September 15th. And we were really proud. In our first AEP, we got 150 agents across the country to utilize the system, 150. And I realized that that's not quite enough to run and manage a business. So we made it our mission to go out there and talk to everybody, every Medicare agent on planet Earth that we could find last year. And today we proudly serve 10,000 Medicare agents across this country. So when you utilize a tool like RetireFlo, you're going to be joining an audience of 10,000 other people who are preparing for every single meeting that they take with this. But the reason our system grew in popularity so much is that tiny little font in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't know if you can see it. Here's what it says. No username or password required for your beneficiaries. What does that mean? It means that you send them your RetireFlo survey. You send them your link, retireflo.com/Brandon or retireflo.com/Western, or whatever you want it to be, you get to pick it. They click on it on their phone, tablet, iPad, computer, Kindle, doesn't matter. They answer those 9 questions, they're done. No username, no password, no code, none of that stuff. Designed for it to be as easy as possible for your senior clients to share this information with you, and then you have instant access to it on the back end. So at its core, and we're going to go through the survey here in just a moment, but that's what RetireFlo is designed to do. We also do this for other lines of business. So for those of you who write under 65 ACA, we help you capture who's in the household, all of their health information, their smoking status, their income level, permission to contact, and then that one ends with the ACA consent form. And then we also rolled out a life insurance survey as well that helps capture health conditions, prescriptions, doctors, demographic information, and policy preferences and history. So that one's designed to help you run quotes in Life Center. Shocking, but the reason that we're here today, and most importantly, is this because we roll out this tool that helps capture drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. And the #1 request that we received was, Dalton, I really like your system, but it would be cooler if all of that data automatically went into MedicareCENTER, because that's where I do my quoting and enrolling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it does. Surprise. We are proud to be the very first third-party API integration into Integrity's MedicareCENTER. Integrity has never worked with a third-party partner that is not a vendor to them. So it's an incredibly big deal, and we do not take it lightly. It also means that you guys are on the cutting edge of seeing something new for the very first time. This integration has only been live for just a few days, and the Western team wanted to bring it to you before everybody else. So let's get into it. Let me show you exactly how the heck our system works. So I'm going to pretend like I'm a beneficiary, and I'm going to go through the survey itself. So this is what your RetireFlo survey will look like. It is white labeled with your logo and headshot. This is designed to feel like you. It is not designed to feel like RetireFlo or even Western for that matter. It is designed to look and feel like your brand, your agency brand. And it looks incredible on a phone, a tablet, an iPad, a computer, or a Kindle. We even integrate, I forgot to mention it, but we integrate Google reviews. If you have Google reviews, you can post them to your survey just to help build some trustworthiness. But this is what our surveys look like. Again, white labeled with your logo up in the top left. And if you happen to have any Spanish speaking beneficiaries, we have an automatic Spanish translator built right in. It just says Espanol in the top right hand corner, which is pretty cool. I don't speak any Spanish, but RetireFlo does it for me. So we'll go through the survey like I'm your client, Susie Senior. So what's your name? Susie Senior. I put the 4 in there for my own tracking purposes. Hey, Susie, let's get started. Our survey is designed to be very friendly, guide Susie through this. Again, when you see my headshot, that's yours. So what's your email? Susie Senior at AOL.com. And then we're going to ask her for her address. Now, Tyler, are you there by chance? You around?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Tyler, give me a real address where Susie Senior might live.
All right. Let's do 318 West Huron Street. That's Huron in Missouri Valley.
So when Susie, and you're not off the hook yet, Tyler, I got more. So when Susie finds the address, it's going to auto-populate with her zip in her county. So she doesn't have to type it. You're still going to capture all that information. And it's actually going to power some of the searches we've got coming up. So we're going to ask her for her phone number. I'm going to type in a random phone number there. And then we're going to ask her for her preferred pharmacy. She can add up to 3, and it's going to take that zip and auto-populate it. So where might Susie go to the pharmacy?
You know, she likes EB Drug in Logan, Iowa there. A friend of mine owns that.
So she can add multiple pharmacies here. Maybe she, I don't know, goes to a Walmart too. You know, got Walmart out there.
Walmart in Blair, Nebraska, maybe.
Right there, right there. So she can add up to 3 pharmacies here. Then we're going to take a look at her current prescriptions. We're going to remind Susie, go get your prescription bottles. This part's important. I've met with too many seniors in my life who go, I left my list of drugs at home. Do I need that? And you're like, yeah, so I told you to bring it. You know, or worse, they come walking into your office with a giant bag of pills and you're like, that's not safe. We also remind Susie that we're not particularly interested in her over-the-counters vitamins or supplements. Thanks, but no thanks. So let's say Susie takes Lipitor. She types in the first couple letters, pops right up to the top. Then we ask, do you really mean that you take the generic atorvastatin? Let's say she does. Then she's got a drop-down menu of available dosages. And when she selects that she takes that 40 milligram tablet, we suggest to her a common user quantity and frequency. In this case, that's 30 tablets a month, but maybe Susie takes 90 every 3 months. She can edit those fields to make them accurate. But let's say Susie takes Ozempic. Doesn't come 30 pills a month, right? When she selects her dosage, it's going to auto-populate down here with the package. So you're going to know, oh, this is an injectable, inhaler, lotion, cream, something comes in non-traditional means. But lastly, let's say Susie takes Synthroid, another popular one among seniors. But this time, Susie forgets to tell you about her dosage. Tries to keep moving through the form. It's going to stop her. Say, hey, Susie, I need this info if I'm going to do a nice job for you. So once she adds that dosage, she can now proceed through the survey. All of her information is correct. We then learn about her doctors and her hospitals. So Tyler, where might Susie go to the hospital?
Let's do Jenny Edmondson in Council Bluffs.
Jenny? Am I spelling that right?
Might be IE. I can't remember.
Let's try it. Let's just type in Jenny and see what comes up.
Or CHI or something like that.
Or, well, you know what? Let me try Edmondson because I can spell that. No, I don't. Help me spell it. These people know, I just don't.
UNMC, Nebraska Medical Center. How about that?
UNMC, we'll try that. Let's see here. So here's some UNMC offices. She can go type in her hospital name here just by searching Nebraska. It's going to come up. There's all these different options. She's just going to search for her hospital name and it's going to populate here. Again, this is the same data that MedicareCENTER is utilizing. We're utilizing the same stuff. So what you're comfortable with on the back end, she's going to be, your clients are going to experience here as well. Let's say Susie doesn't always live in Nebraska or Iowa. She winters in Columbus, Ohio, where her grandson lives, and she wants to add a hospital over there. She wants to add Ohio State. All she has to do is change that zip, and it's going to auto-populate here as well. She had multiple facilities there. Then we're going to learn about her doctors. Tyler, give me a doctor and a PCP in Susie's area here, if you happen to know one. If not, I can search them out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the slightest clue. Dr. Jones. Let's do that.
Dr. Jones. All right. Let's find a PCP named Dr. Jones. Let's see here. Dr. Jones is here we go. Family practice, Darcy Jones. And maybe she adds a specialist as well. Maybe she sees Dr. Miller, and Dr. Miller is a orthoped. She can add dentists, optometrists, endodontists, physical therapists. Here, everybody's showing up in her area. Same data as MedicareCENTER. Now let's wrap this up. Your headshot says, here comes the scope. And what the heck is it? Kind of a scary, cumbersome thing for seniors, right? Think they're signing their life away. Not our scope. Super clean, easy, highlighted and glowing where Susie needs to initial. She initials. I'm going to skip hospital indemnity just to show you what happens if she skips one. She picks a signature that best represents her and she tries to sign and complete. Uh-oh, we noticed that you left one blank. We flag it for her, encourage her to go back, scroll her right back up to where she needs to go. She signs and completes, and now she's done. When she presses that button, she gets this nice screen from you that says, your name from your agency will contact you soon. Now, instantly, my phone just buzzed. I got a text and an email delivered to my phone as the agent saying, hey, you got a new submission on RetireFlo, log on and check it out. So I head over to my RetireFlo dashboard, and what do you know? Right up here, I got a new submission from Susie Senior. Let's go check it out. And it is now here in my submission center under Susie Senior. And this is just a giant bucket of every submission I've ever received utilizing RetireFlo. So when I view and download it, what did I get on Susie? This is what I get. Your logo at the top, perfect secure summary of everything she just shared. Her pharmacies, her hospitals, her physicians, their addresses and phone numbers, their prescriptions, dosage, quantity, frequency, package, brand of the generic, all of her beneficiary information here, and even give you a little section to write some notes if you wanted to print this off and give it to Susie. Then at the end, attached is a signed, dated, initialed, compliant scope, timestamped with Susie's IP address. Now note that we leave this agent section blank, like the agent name and the agent phone. We allow you to sign it right here in your submission center and make it accurate based on the meeting that took place. So maybe in this hypothetical scenario, Agent Brandon and Tyler worked together. And this was supposed to be Brandon's meeting, but Agent Brandon got sick that day. and Susie ended up meeting with Tyler. You can edit this and make it accurate based on the meeting that took place. So very, very cool feature there. Now, simultaneously, wouldn't it be cool if all this data automatically went right into MedicareCENTER without having to do anything? It does, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to log into my MedicareCENTER and show you right now. Now, when I created that profile for Susie Senior, it also created a profile for her over here. I just got to wait for the spinning wheel here from Integrity. This one's out of my hands. I can't control the speed of that bad boy. But here you go. Here's Susie Senior 4 right here in your contacts. Those prescriptions, providers, pharmacies, all right here. I put in a bad email for her, so they came back that way. But I'm ready to start a quote. So while I just want to take just a quick second to say that I know that was a lot. It was a lot for you to see. You know, we went through that as both you, the agent, and as Susie, the client. But in reality, how this works is you send out the survey to your book of business or to your prospects, and then when they complete it, it shows up here. That's really it. And you press start quote and you're ready to go. That's how easy this is. So with that, I'd be happy to take some questions. Let me share this with you. To utilize RetireFlo, how much does it cost? It costs for everybody else that doesn't work with the Western team, it costs $50 a month. Unlimited sends, unlimited submissions. Doesn't matter if 10,000 people complete your RetireFlo survey, it's still $50 a month flat. That price does not change. However, because you heard about us from Western, you get promo code Western40, all caps, Western40. You get our service and all of our surveys, including our ACA survey, our life insurance survey, at 40% off. Each of our surveys comes to you at $29.99 a month, unlimited sends, unlimited submissions. That promo code is not going anywhere. We love the team at Western. This was a big deal for us to close this loop today and ultimately work with some Western agents. So that code is not going to change. And it's that price is right there locked in at $29.99. If you would like to utilize RetireFlo, it could not be easier to sign up for. You simply go to retireflo.com and you press get started. I ask you a couple questions about yourself and your agency. You put in your promo code Western40 and you're ready to rock. You give us your headshot, your logo, looks a little bit like this. Tell us your agency name. You choose your website. Tell us your states you're licensed to do business in, and you press save. That's it. Couldn't be easier. So Tyler, any questions come through? Talk to me about what are folks saying? I'm not sure I can see the chat, or maybe there aren't.
Yeah. Let's got a couple of questions here. First one says, if you have an existing list of doctors and prescriptions in MedicareCENTER, does it migrate over into RetireFlo so the customer does not need to enter it again? Great
question. It does not. And the reason why is because we have no username or password. So if we included data from previous years, it would require us to have a username, a password, or code, which we do not want to do. Just from context, we did this at our home agency a few years ago, and we just ended up tracking down codes for everybody, every AEP, which is a pain in the butt. So how we make this work is when we send out a RetireFlo survey, or you send out a RetireFlo survey to your client, and they answer it, we actually read your MedicareCENTER to see if they're already in there. And if they are already in there, if we can find a matching first name and phone number, or matching first name and email, we'll just update that contact with all that new information. We'll just tack it on, and then you can make a determination about what you want to use to run that quote with.
Okay. Second one's more of a comment than a question. It just says, if only we could merge this with Connexure.
Yeah. I actually, you know, Tyler, I might want to defer to you about that. I would say that it was Integrity's preference for us to deliver this information into MedicareCENTER. And I would tell you that I know that some folks have maybe some preconceived notions about MedicareCENTER. We are big fans of it. For a free tool out there, I think it is pretty darn good. And I know that occasionally they do data dumps from MedicareCENTER into Connecture. So I know that that's available to you as well. The other cool thing about this is we also expose all of our data to you here in the Submission Center. So let's say you use RetireFlo and you're like one of our 10,000 agents who gets hundreds and hundreds of submissions on this thing, which is what most agents get. You can download that into one big gigantic CSV or Excel file and upload it into whatever tools you use. So maybe you use an additional CRM on top of MedicareCENTER. You can upload all that data in there. We also offer integrations with Medicare Pro and Go High Level CRMs, where that data automatically seamlessly flows into there as well. And you can make it go into MedicareCENTER, Medicare Pro, Go High Level, wherever you want it to go, it'll go. But I just can't get it into Medicare app through Integrity.
Okay. Yep, and I do have a little comment on that as well. If you're used to using Connecture, as I know a lot of people are just used to that, they're still using it. I would suggest at least trying out the MedicareCENTER dashboard. The enrollment process is nearly identical at this point, and there's a lot more information that can be stored in the MedicareCENTER dashboard, especially with the integration with RetireFlo now. So it might be something to check out. If you have any questions on that, or if you want us to walk you through that, just give us a call here at Western Marketing, and we'd be happy to kind of take you through that and make sure you get familiar with it. But like I said, I think you'll find it's pretty near identical as the Connecture platform now. So new question came in, kind of just answered that. Says I still use Medicare app, which is the Connecture platform. Is it possible to use that? So answer to that is no, it will not sync with Connecture, but it will with the MedicareCENTER dashboard.
Yeah, and a couple things that you should be aware of how to send this out. I have something I forgot to mention. It's really as simple as copy and pasting a link. You come in here into RetireFlo and you copy your link and you send it out. Maybe you're an agent out there who serves a lot of supplement clients and you don't want to ask people the doctor and hospital question. We also offer a Part D only link that you can copy, and it just takes out the doctor and hospital question. So that's available to you as well. But what Tyler said is true. It is nearly identical. We have RetireFlo has a fantastic relationship with Connecture DRX, and I would tell you that their APIs power MedicareCENTER, and so that process is almost identical today.
Yep. Next question says, so this is an agent email marketing campaign, not a text message?
It's whatever you want it to be. All you got to do is copy and paste that link and send it out. So if you want to send it out, if you got a tool that sends out texts, drop it in there. If you want to make this a button on your website, knock yourself out. We even give you in our tool, you can download free QR codes and you can send this out on print materials. Most popularly, it is emailed out, but however you want to get this out, doesn't matter to us. It's a war of attrition, it's trying to get, sorry, somebody's outside my window. All you gotta do is copy and paste that link, and how you choose to send it is totally and completely up to you.
Okay. Next question says, how do agents distinguish themselves when emailing from other agent surveys?
Great question. Well, first of all, our branding is really, really important. So, when somebody lands on this, they're going to know that it's you. Okay, this is a nice professional front door, and we can control what it looks like when you land on RetireFlo. But how you choose to send out email campaigns, that's really up to you. We actually give you some templates here in our RetireFlo resources section. What we send out at my home agency, you can copy and paste and steal our stuff. Feel free, that doesn't matter to us. But I think, and that's a really good question. I just overall talking about agent marketing. As an agent, you are competing against people who are far bigger than you. For instance, an insurance carrier is allowed to compliantly market the benefits that are in their plan. A big carrier can talk about, well, we offer free golf clubs in our plan, but it's so difficult for agents to market based on benefit. So what you can do to stand out as an agent is to market yourself. And when I say market yourself, you can make the promise that with a system like RetireFlo, I will take your, you, the beneficiaries, drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies into account in this process. If you call Joe Namath, they're going to body slam you into another plan to restart a commission cycle. If you work with me, the agent, I can ensure that things that are important to you are taken care of, and then we can have a discussion about the shiny benefits. So I think when you're sending this out, using phrases like, hey, if you'd like tailor-made plan options, click here. If you want me to review your plan, click here. But your own marketing is totally up to you. You know your clients better than we do. But the cool thing about RetireFlo is it gives you the freedom to market however you wish, rather than being forced to use a pre-baked template or anything like that.
Okay. Looks like there's one more question. Somebody asked if it will work with Go High Level.
Yes, you can make it go into both MedicareCENTER and Go High Level. We have a full integration with GHL as well as MedicareCENTER and Medicare Pro.
Okay. We just had another one come in just now. Question is, tell us about the agent's experience from the customer responses and them remembering the survey.
I don't really know what that question means. If you want me to be 100% honest with you, no, I'm going to be straight up. I don't know what that.
I think what they're asking is are the agents getting positive feedback from the clients when they receive this and fill it out, and when the agent contacts them, are they remember filling out the information? I think that's kind of where he's going with that.
Yeah, remarkably positive feedback. I know that I am 100% biased. I did create this system. I'm the president and founder of it. But we serve 10,000 people across the country, 10,000 Medicare agents across this country, and we've only been alive for just under 2 years. Agents love this because when they send it out to their clients, they get responses. And I would encourage you not to even rely on me or all of these agents here that I've flashed up here. Google us, look us up, see what agents' experiences have been. But what I hear a lot is what Julie said. She's down here, like the second from the bottom. It's just a great way to manage the busyness of AEP. She had 400 clients in Georgia that she had to rewrite. She was able to do it and went home at 5. Fall is a beautiful time of year. And for most of us, it's a pretty sucky time because we're busting our butts. So why not, for $30 a month, get way out ahead of this? At my home agency, for our 25,000 clients, we are sending this out 11 times before October 15th. 11. We already started. So we're getting submissions in the thousands back already. If you write a short, thoughtful email, again, you can use our templates, you will get submissions. To give you one story too, we had an agent in Ohio, agent who serves 2,000 clients. His name's Don. He's kind of out in the sticks, but he's a pretty big agent. He sent an email to all 2,000 of his clients on September 15th of 2023. It was our first day of operation, actually. Email reads, "Hi folks, AEP's coming up. If you'd like me to review your plan, click here, complete the survey." Over the weekend, he sent again, Friday, 5 p.m. Over the weekend, the guy did nothing. He watched Ohio State beat Notre Dame. He went for a walk with his wife, showed up to his office on Monday morning. He had 200 submissions on his page from one email just 2 days later. He sent that same email 4 more times. He got 946 submissions before October 15th. That's 946 people he didn't have to listen to try to spell levothyroxine over the phone or worry about getting a signed scope. And now, for him, all that data goes automatically into MedicareCENTER. So at no additional cost, it's just $30 a month. So Google us, look us up. Agents. I mean, I know I'm biased, but like I deal with households, like husbands and wives who are agents themselves. Like I've worked with this woman named Debbie Bynum. She's in Oklahoma City, and her husband is the main agent. And every AEP up until last year, she didn't see him in the fall because he worked until midnight. Last year, because of RetireFlo, he came home at 5, or 5:30, and showed up to every meeting prepared. So that's what a tool like this can do for you, especially, and Tyler, I think, mentioned it, especially with all the tumult that we're going to experience with changes in formularies and beneficiaries wanting to shop. I mean, every year, Integrity's deft research comes out with a new statistic that says shopping is going to be up. Shopping is going to be up more than last year, and every year it's more. As shopping continues to increase, we got to know some things about our clients, and that's what RetireFlo helps you collect. So we'd love for you guys to, we'd love to have you on the flow. If you want to get started, it's as simple as going to retireflo.com and pressing this big blue Get Started button right in the center. We'll ask you a couple questions. Put in your promo code Western40, all caps. It is case sensitive, Western40. And then give us your headshot and your logo, and you're ready to rock. So any other questions come in, Tyler?
Yeah, just a couple here. This one asks, does the customer receive a reminder if they do not complete the form right away?
No, you're in charge of sending those back out.
Okay. Someone asked for the code. That is Western in all capital, followed by the number 40. So Western 40.
That's right.
This one asks, is this a contract you sign up for, or can you do month to month?
Yes, we have month-to-month options. They cost a little bit more. With your promo code, if you wanted to cancel anytime, so if you only want to do it for AEP, it would be $45 a month, $44.99. But agents use this tool year-round. Works great for T65 retirees, people who are aging into Medicare. It's really a year-round tool, but obviously with a little higher utilization during the annual enrollment period.
Okay. And then the last question, and then we'll wrap up here, just says, why not add a scope of appointment to the form and save time? Not sure what you're referring to there. There is a scope of appointment at the end of the survey there, so that is automatically added to that and is taken care of at the end of the survey.
Absolutely. I don't know who said that, but not paying attention. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But there's our final question in our survey is that scope of appointment form. It's the 9th question. It's always in there.
Yep. All righty. Well, that'll do it. I'm super excited about this, guys. This is a great platform to have integrated with MedicareCENTER. We are super stoked to have Dalton and the team over there be able to offer it to the Integrity agents and everything. So if you have any questions, get a hold of me on that. We'll be able to get you set up with this. I'm also going to be shooting you out some information on this here shortly, so you guys have everything you need there. Feel free to give us a call at 800-852-7152. Again, that's 800-852-7152. We'll get you set up with RetireFlo. Dalton, thanks so much. Certainly appreciate you jumping on with us today. Is there anything you want to add before we go?
No, one thing I will say is next time you're listening to your client spelling their prescription, levothyroxine 1 letter at a time, just know that you could have had this information through RetireFlo. There's a better way, folks. But thank you so much to the Western team for having me on. It was a privilege, and Tyler, hope to see you soon.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today, and thanks again, Dalton. Appreciate you guys. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday afternoon and great rest of your week.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.